Welcome back to News Across Nigeria. We'd like to remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to urge you to please interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app on the Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. Now, we were in Kaduna State just before the second half, and we're going to go back there to show you some facts about that great northwestern state of the Nigerian Federation. It has an area of 46,053 kilometers. The capital is Kaduna as well. And the governor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai. Some history for you on this date. Lord Frederick Lugard moved the capital of the northern region from Zungeru to Kaduna back in 1916. That's a long time ago. And notable colleges and universities, world famous, are in Kaduna State, such as the Ahmadu Bello University, fondly called ABU Zaria, the Kaduna State University, the Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, so fondly called in Kaduna, the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology in Zaria, the City University of Technology, also in Kaduna. And now to the north, the southeastern part of the country, in a manner akin to the pardoning of prisoners by the Kaduna State Governor. 25 prisoners in Anambra State were granted clemency by the state government as well. The Anambra State Governor, Willie Obiano, announced the release of the inmates at the Awka prison in the state capital, and he also gave each of the freed prisoners 1 million naira each to begin their lives over.
Spectators cheer Governor Willie Obiano giving arms to the less privileged as he makes his way through the AK Awka market. From the market, the next port of call for the governor is the Awka prison, where the governor is to perform the amnesty formality as part of his constitutional rights. Shortly after the governor's arrival, the Comptroller General of Prisons present the inmates.
We have checked the character and behavior of all the inmates, and we can prove beyond reasonable doubt that they have actually been reformed.
Aside from granting them amnesty, the governor also announced 1 million naira gift for each of the freed inmates.
Based on the authority I have in this area, I hereby grant you that are here plus the other people, 25 of you, pardon. So here and now, you are a free man.
I am very happy to be among those that are released, that are pardoned today. In fact, my heart is full of joy. I cannot express it. Only God knows how I felt.
The atmosphere was filled with outbursts of emotion as the inmates shed tears of joy, after which they had a photo session with the governor.
To exercise his prerogative of mercy.
Still in the spirit of the Independence Day anniversary for Nigeria, the Abia State Governor may not be freeing inmates from the state's prisons, but he's working to ensure that criminals don't have a reason to flourish in his state by creating more jobs for the unemployed youth. Governor Keze Kwazu told newsmen in Umuahia, the state capital, that his strategy includes education and agriculture development, where technical skills will be inculcated in the school curriculum to encourage training in vocational learning. He also hinted at plans to send some of the youth to neighboring African countries for training in various agricultural skills, amongst others.
We have a project that is doing enumeration of all unemployed youths in 17 local governments of Abia State, and I think we are targeting sometime in the month of October. We should have a clear data about who is unemployed here and what can that person do. Some people, unfortunately, are not only unemployed, they are not employable. So for those class of people, we would like to either take them straight to agriculture or make them employable. But at the end of the day, we're going to make agriculture very exciting. We want to continue to do massive planting of the exotic species of oil palm, because the demand for palm oil and its products will become very huge in the days ahead. And we understand that the federal government has stopped issuance of foreign exchange for purposes of importation of oil palm. So naturally, as one of the best and productive belts for oil palm production, we have decided to see if we can target between 150 and 400,000 tons of oil palm seedlings in the years ahead. And that is going to lead us to a huge army of young farmers, which we will lead from the State Executive Council to make sure that all of us will contribute at least some 1 hour or 2 hours every week on our huge farms.
Staying with the issues of employment, the Nigeria Labour Congress has re-echoed its stance on immediate creation of jobs across the country as the nation gets older. Speaking in Lagos, the Vice President of the NLC and President of the Construction Workers Union, Amechi Asugunu, said there's been a hold on infrastructural development in the country, which has resulted in job loss. He called on the federal government to immediately inaugurate its cabinet.
We have said, and we are still saying, the loss of employment is actually in a bad phase for Nigeria. Infrastructure neglect is a virus that we must ensure that we cure. We believe that even till now, we are still loud in our voice that the infrastructure in Nigeria is on hold, and government should do everything needful to ensure that they arrest the situation as regards development, because you can't even count one before you talk about the promise of job creation, and job creation cannot be achieved without infrastructure. So nothing has changed as far as I'm concerned. Nothing has changed. We are still seeing this government to be demonstrating their preparatory grant, and we wish that this preparation will not take further long, because if preparation will take up to a year, then I wonder how they're going to execute the program. So first and foremost, they should have had their program before coming into office, and then having come into the office, modify your program and kickstart.
He was speaking in Lagos, but elsewhere at a well-attended October 1st celebration at the Township Stadium in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, Governor Udom Emmanuel called for moral and spiritual rebirth in the state. He also called on the people on the state to imbibe the spirit of the recently launched campaign for moral and spiritual transformation in order to ensure meaningful development of all segments of the population.
55 years is no joke. I think at 55, you are about entering a phase in your life, which is a phase I call the period of hindsight. So at this period, we need to look backwards. We also need to review what we've done. We also need to set a new hope. That's why as a state, we have come out since 23rd of September to launch into that new hope, to launch that faith of greatness, to launch to our people that they need to rise to their full potentials, to launch to our people that what they have is totally beyond what others see, both human and intellectual. So I enjoin all other good Nigerians today to wish our children, our youths, our mothers, our fathers, a happy independence.
That was on October 1st, and it did continue across the country. Governor Udom Emmanuel of Akwa Ibom State. Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary coincided with the World Day for the Elderly, a day set aside to show appreciation for the impact of the aged on the society. In Oyo State, the wife of the governor, Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, spent the day with the aged to give them a sense of belonging. At the University College Hospital in Ibadan, the geriatric center came alive with celebration of the United Nations Day for the Elderly, where salient issues affecting older persons in sustainable environments were discussed.
In the absence of an elaborate and flamboyant Independence Day celebration in Oyo State, some vulnerable groups got the attention of well-meaning citizens. The wife of the Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Florence Ajimobi, hosted the less privileged.
I just want to implore all of us to be patient, to support the administration of President Buhari. We all know what is going on in the country, but it is the sacrifice that you and I have to pay for the change that we want to take effect. And I know Nigeria will be taken to greater heights and we will all smile.
At the University College Hospital Ibadan, the United Nations International Day for the Elderly was observed with an awareness program on sustainable environment and old age.
I am tired of government policies that does not have understanding. There is no way you're going to have a housing policy that is going to ask an elderly person to stay in a three-floor building. It is madness. They don't do that. There's something you call retirement home abroad. They are all bungalows because of the risks of falls. How can you expect them to descend staircase and ascend staircase on a daily basis when the heart is not as strong, the knees are not as strong, the muscles are not as strong? So we have very poor housing policy for the elderly.
Some elderly people at the event shared their views on the day.
It is a very nice gesture, which means there's still hope in Nigeria, because it appears as if before the elderly has not been taken care of. But with what we have seen, with what we have even heard from the CMT today, there's a great hope. More so celebrating the elderly by the United States.
Most of us, we are looking young, we are looking happy. For the simple reason, we see each other every month, we express our view, we discuss, and whatever we need, we used to give it to, we used to present it to him. And with the glory of God, he didn't take us, just like that.
At the end, both gatherings reflected the need to have actionable national policies and ample time for vulnerable groups in Nigeria.
Still to come on news across Nigeria, the South-South region, and the establishment of a College of Accounting. Please stay with us.